Now live, it says.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Fabulous. Well done, Tracy.
Oh, I can't see you. Right, okay. Right, hang on. Oh, we are live. Marvellous.
Excellent. Well done, Tracy, getting all that technology bit done.
Oh, the pressure, Leslie, the pressure.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing it, not me.
And I'm just going to log on my phone as well, so that if you've got any comments or anything that comes up on there, we can see them and speak to people and stuff. Yes, amazing. There we are.
There you are. Well done.
So I shall keep an eye on that as well.
Superstar.
Excellent. So, well, we've jumped on tonight, haven't we, to talk about our new joint venture together. It's really exciting.
Exciting, yes. Our Body and Mind programme for wellness. And we've wanted to talk to you tonight about the problems we've heard from you about our lockdown issues that we're all having, and trying to help you to get into new supportive habits rather than the bad habits that maybe some of us have fallen into over lockdown, giving us lots of problems. But before we got into that, we really wanted to say thank you for being here and supporting us. And our aim is to get the word out really to as many people as possible. So it would be fabulous if we could ask you to bring people in, and we would like to know what you'd like as a reward for doing that, wouldn't we?
Oh, we would. We've had all sorts of ideas between the two of us, haven't we, of what we could maybe offer people, or experiences or time, or different things that might help people. But at the end of the day, we came to the conclusion that actually all we've got is our own experiences, and we don't know necessarily what everybody else is going through. So if there's sort of something that people are really struggling with, and there's a small way that we can help with that, sort of as an initial part of bringing people in, we're happy to look at all options, aren't we?
Yeah, we need you, rather than us dish out what we think you might need. We'd like to know what you would like as a reward, and that's kind of our goal, isn't it?
It is, yes. So we really need people to tell us the kind of things that would be really useful to them right now. So we'd really welcome your comments, and I'm logged onto Facebook on my phone, so we can see comments coming in. But we really welcome your interaction with this session, because we're trying to keep it quite informal, aren't we? But we do have a list of, we've got a little bit of a structure because we didn't want to lose our thread, did we?
Exactly. But it is all about you, because we know that lockdown is happening again. A lot of you, we both talk to people, and a lot of people are saying how stressed they feel. And from our experience, we know the science shows that when we're really stressed, that can cause all kinds of problems for hormonal balance, as well as generalized stress. So stress hormones get disrupted, but so do our sexual hormones as well. So that can flare up problems with sleep issues, our anxiety levels, hot flushes, mood swings, that thing that we call menorage, where we feel really frustrated. I had somebody tell me yesterday that she just feels like she just wants to scream, and I kind of could get that, what
so you've just listed all my finest qualities, Leslie.
Yeah, been working on that. But also things like brain fog as well, when we're trying to maybe work from home, which can be a bit of a struggle, and our mind's not quite as clear. So that can be because we're overstretched stress-wise, and also that then starts to deplete our hormones as well. So can get all sorts of problems, as you know, Tracy, from your side of that.
Absolutely. So we should probably just do a little bit of where we're coming from, aren't we? And because I'm very much coming from a medical kind of background. I'll tell you a little bit more about me in a minute, but I'm sort of very much a medical background. You're a very therapy-led background, although you are an background, aren't you, Leslie? So the way that I'm sort of approaching this is from a very medical viewpoint. So what we've got this group, that we want to be a supportive group that's going to hopefully be quite engaging, that's going to offer you lots of valuable content, and that's just there for you. But also we want it to be a little bit more proactive than that. We want it to be able to offer something to people who really want to invest in themselves. And that's why we've partnered, because we've got like two sides of the same coin, but very different skill sets to bring to the party, really. So I'm a nurse by background. I've been in nursing over 27 years now, so quite a long time. I do still have an NHS commitment, but I'm also the nurse director at East Riding Aesthetics and Wellness, which is a Beverley-based clinic, where I do medical aesthetics, face and body treatments, that kind of thing. But off the back of that, what I found doing my treatments is that actually what I really love to do is help people feel better about themselves. And that's where this is sort of kind of rooted from between the pair of us, hasn't it, Leslie? Because this is all about trying to support people and help people feeling better about themselves, whether it's because they're going through difficulties in terms of stress, emotional issues, emotional overeating issues, menopausal issues, anything like that. We've sort of come together to provide a pathway and some sort of solution based methods to help support and get people through these things. So from my point of view, I'm very much interested in the physical medical side of how people are physically functioning, from everything to, you know, heart rate to blood pressure to blood results, potentially all different kinds of ways of assessing somebody from a very sort of physical point of view, and looking at ways we can support issues if they're coming up. So I'm kind of a bit like an MOT kind of girl in this setting, and you take a very different slant on it, don't you, Leslie?
I do, yeah. I mean, we've obviously got that nursing connection, which is how we met. I don't know how many years ago, but maybe 2 years. Yeah. Yes, so for me, I was a nurse for 25 years and I loved it. But at the same time, I've always had this interest in the holistic side of things. And what I really have always wanted to do is be able to tally up the two. So support people naturally and let them find ways to be the best version of themselves. But with Tracy's input now, I've got that medical backup as well. So although I have that knowledge, maybe Tracy's is much more, she can apply it better. So if somebody does come and we discuss that, you know, in our intervention that she has some kind of blood pressure problem or something like that, Tracy's there to support me with that. And Tracy's got the nursing qualifications, the registration, all the legalities, keeping that going. So I feel like we bounce off each other with the same goal and we're working together. So with the way that I like to work, I'm looking at the whole picture, and I'm not saying Tracy isn't, but I'm looking at our mental health, our emotional well-being, our spiritual side for people who have a spiritual interest, and physically as well. So movement, what we put into our bodies, whether that's for food and drink, or also the mental, what we tell ourselves, that self-chatter, which is so important. So I like to bring it all together, but I'm really liking that there's Tracy's back up there as well.
Yeah, it feels all a bit tied up, doesn't it? Just It feels like we've got something sort of quite unique to offer. There's lots of services that are out there that are just therapies, and lots of services that are just medical. And we're really quite excited to bring something together that ties it all up, that we're not necessarily thinking, oh gosh, well, where do I send you now? Because I've identified this as a need, but I don't really know where to go with it, because we've got each other for that.
It feels like a full holistic approach, doesn't it?
It really does, doesn't it? And we've got the other things that we can sort of add in as well if we need to, don't we? We've got a lot of other professionals that we know that are out there, people that can support with, if you know, people have got genuine psychological problems. We've got connections with psychology, we've got connections with body confidence people, with nutritionalists, all of those kind of things. Personal trainers, absolutely, yeah. So we've got a real exciting network that we can sort of bring to the party, haven't we? And Yeah, and at the moment, I don't know about you, Leslie, but lockdown 1 wasn't too bad because it was summer and it was light nights. I like to do a bit of running, so I could get out a lot of the time. Well, we could get out once a day for a while in lockdown 1, couldn't you? But once you were allowed out for general exercise anytime, I could get out a lot, and I didn't find it too bad. This time around, it's really quite different, isn't it? It's dark, it's cold.
Yeah.
People are quite fatigued with the whole COVID.
Yeah. I think fatigue is it, and I think, you know, there's a lot of anxiousness as well, and, you know, that uncertainty, you know, just watching the news now, we still don't know when we're going to come out of lockdown, what we can do for Christmas. If you're self-employed, you know, when we can reopen businesses and things, or get back to any semblance of normality. So I think there's that big unknown there affecting us.
It's huge, and that's having a knock on, isn't it, into stress, into eating. I mean, I don't know how many people have sort of hit the biscuits over the last few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sort of anything that we can find comforting, but it is sort of what we head to in these difficult times, isn't it? But actually, sometimes what we head to because it's comforting isn't actually always what's really good for us.
And it's we know that as well as we do it, don't we? And it makes us then feel even worse because we feel like we should have the strength to not do it. So sometimes we do just need that extra bit of support.
Well, we do, and I was
literally those new habits.
Yeah, totally. I was literally just talking with my neighbour earlier on this evening, and we were talking about other crisis times in the world, and her son had actually, you know, sort of mentioned about the war and how people will have struggled in the war, but they got through it and they did okay. But during the war, what it did was actually it brought communities together. And at the moment, communities are really radically divided, aren't they? And that's causing the sort of the loneliness pandemic, and so many other mental health issues and all kinds of things that go along with that too, which cause a lot of physical and mental health problems. And yeah, I'm quite lucky. I still have my NHS caseload, so I still go out to work in that sense, and I still get to see other people beyond my immediate household circle. But you know, I'm in that sense I'm quite lucky. A lot of people aren't finding that they can do that, and it's a real struggle, isn't it?
Yeah, if you've not seen your family, you've got grandchildren, for instance, and you've not seen those. I don't have grandchildren, but I imagine that just must be so difficult.
Sorry, I was looking for comments. There's comments have come up, and I switched on the volume on my phone by accident. Let me just switch myself off. Sorry. Yeah, we've got a few comments. We've got Marie, hello Marie. She's excited to be watching. Lynn is also watching. Good evening. Oh, Sadie's watching. Hey, Sadie. One here. Sadie's amazing. She is like the body confidence girl of all time. She's absolutely incredible. Yeah, Lynn's saying much harder this time around for lockdown with the dark nights and just the lack of physical contact. Yeah. So we're sort of compensating in different ways, aren't we? And
I think there's a lot of people, you know, like you mentioned, doing a lot less exercise. In summer we were gardening. You know, there's not a lot you can do gardening wise, or going for your long walk. So weather really doesn't lend itself to thinking, yeah, I'll go for a walk. It's been cold today, hasn't it? And we had the lights on by 2 o'clock.
Well, it never really got light, did it? I went for a run this morning down a route where you get to sunrise at a certain time of day. I thought I'll go that way because I want to see the sunrise. Yeah. There was no sun at all.
Yeah.
But so what are we actually offering then, Leslie?
Okay, so we're offering the package. So we've got the medical inputs, and maybe Tracy, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so basically if people are feeling that they are struggling either from a health and fitness point of view, a weight point of view, a hormonal point of view, sort of the pathway in would be to make an appointment to come and see me. And at the moment they're all virtual appointments, so very much like this, where we go through all of your previous medical history, current lifestyle, dietitian information, symptoms that are causing you problems, and all of this information is shared with Leslie as well. That's something that we ask you to consent to right at the beginning, so that we can then put a program together that's sort of bespoke to your needs. So from my point of view, it may include various different sort of prescribable medications. It might, for a woman who's, you know, maybe typically a woman in her 50s who's struggling with her hormonal changes and is also struggling to manage her weight, might be somebody that might come to me, and when we might look at what medication might support that. But then they would also see Leslie, because there's a lot of things that you can do for hormone balancing and general mindset, isn't there, that will help level things out. And maybe the medication might just be a little bit of a leg up to get you started, and not necessarily a long-term thing.
Yeah, so with Tracy's intervention there is really thorough, so we know exactly any health issues, long-term, new things, anything that's going on. And then we have another consultation with myself, but it's geared towards the Ayurvedic style. So we look at your constitutional type. So you might be somebody who needs maybe grounding and things to help you warm so that you can burn your calories off, or you might be somebody who needs cooling. So, you know, if you're, like Tracy mentioned, going through our hormone system, hormonal changes, we might be suffering with hotness, hot flushes or night sweats. So we can use ways using breathing techniques for cooling down. We might need some calming yoga. We might need some more invigorating exercise. We might even need a prescription of aromatherapy essential oils that have been, you know, prescribed just for you to sort out what you need. We also look at nutrition as well. So, you know, sometimes we don't necessarily want to be on a diet, but we maybe can just look at the way that our lifestyle influences what we eat, when we eat, things like that. So it's a big picture. And then you would be meeting up with me at the moment online, but eventually we could go online or face to face. So we can practice things together as well, and we can feedback. So we'd have that feedback loop with you as well, Tracy, wouldn't we?
Absolutely, yeah. So all of our information is shared, which is a different thing from my usual kind of treatment plans, which are obviously just kept within the clinic. But all of our information is shared with between the two of us, and then any other professionals that would be brought on to support a person's plan would need that same level of information, so that we're all on the same page, really, and so that we know that what we're telling you is or advising is information that's all coming from the same direction. We don't want to be causing confusion or giving sort of mixed messages. So all of that information would come and would be shared, and then would be reassessed. So it is a sort of an iterative process of, you know, we look at what we can do for you, we get you started, but then it's not a case of boo, off you go, we're gone. We're very much hand holding, supporting, cheerleading is one of the things we like to do, and helping you sort of achieve your goals in a health, a safe way from a health point of view, but also including all of the holistic side that really matters, and really kind of, like you say, it grounds people, doesn't it? And it's a mindset approach.
Yeah, I mean, as we go along the process, so you've got support from both of us, and hopefully we'd like the group to be interactive as well, so we can share, you know, this is working for me, how you finding it. Well, actually I'm finding this a little bit more helpful. So we're all there together supporting each other, and it's, you know, it's not going to be a one size fits all scenario. It's dedicated, it's written just for you. Your plan is put together just for you. So as things change as you go along, you might come initially, your main issue is sleep deprivation, and that might, you know, that's affecting absolutely everything in your life. Once we start to get under control with the sleep, we can look at other issues that need sorting out. So it's changing, it's evolving as you go.
Totally, and it's looking at it's just not that necessarily that symptom in isolation, is it? It's maybe what is actually causing that. For a man, it might be more related to stress and diet. For a lady, it could be the same, but it might be to do with hormones, and it might need a completely different kind of intervention. So it's very much tailoring it around our people, isn't it?
Is exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and like so, you know, we wanted to be different, didn't we? We wanted to be available for people who feel as though maybe they've tried other things that haven't quite worked for them. You know, we felt as though if we were sort of too prescriptive and sort of saying, here you are, here's a booklet, there's our plan, off you go and do, that actually that's not an approach that often works for people, or it works for a short while and then you lose your mojo. And can't sort of see it through to the result that you want. So that's why we felt that this, initially what we're looking at is to offer 12 weeks working with myself and Leslie to identify those needs and then sort of put solutions in place to support our people, our patients, our clients in the right direction, and to see those end results, or at least begin to see them, to start you off on the journey. If after the 12 weeks you feel as though I'm all good, I'm flying solo now, we can support, you know, we're happy to support that as well, aren't we?
We are, yes. Yeah, it just goes as you need, and so we've got the group thing, and we're also looking at your input, you know, what would be useful for you. So whether to get together as groups online at the moment, or, you know, maybe we could go for a wonderful retreat somewhere at some point. We've got, you know, lots of ideas that are led by your needs.
I'd love a retreat. It's on our wish list, isn't it?
We do talk about it, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, yeah. We've got venues in our heads and all sorts sorted out, haven't we? But
yeah.
Probably not right now. But
no, unfortunately, no. But yeah, so, you know, we're looking at giving you basically what you want, but it's going to be helpful rather than just touchy-feely. It's actually going to be effective as well.
Yeah, and quite structured really in our approach. So we would certainly people would see me for the consultation, and then whatever intervention we decided, that would be a fairly regular follow-up, at least at first. And then as I'm perhaps sort of loosening my grip very slightly, other things will step in a little bit more to take people off on that journey, because you really don't want somebody from a medical point of view breathing down your neck the whole time if you're all set from that. But there's lots of other things that could be really, really useful. Yeah. Have we got comments? Has anybody got any questions? Have we sort of been clear enough with what it is we're bringing to the party? So I'm just because I know there's a delay on Zoom, so I'm just waiting to see if anybody's actually popping anything in the comments. I love your backdrop, Leslie. Is it on the wall? Is it a symbolic kind of?
It's called a mandala, so it's like a meditation focal point, really. So there's patterns within patterns within patterns to keep your attention there. So it's what I look at when I'm doing my meditation.
Oh, how clever!
My own little meditation space here. Yeah.
Oh, I really like that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah.
So if we just leave it, just give it a couple of minutes in case anybody's got anything that they would like to ask. See, you were thinking I didn't bring my water in with me. Marie's asked, will we be charging for this wonderful support?
Will we be charging?
Yeah, will we be? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we can do is, after this live, we can put some information on the thread underneath and do some other posts that will sort of clarify, because obviously depending on exactly the services that people are wanting will will depend on prices overall, but there is a basic sort of core program that we're looking at hosting for the 12 weeks, isn't there? So that's sort of set price, but we're looking to reduce that slightly for those people that have it within their reach to pay up front, basically. But we can put all of those details in the thread, can't we?
Yeah, we can, yeah.
Yeah. Just looking to see if we've got anything else. It's lovely to see so many people watching. Is there anything else? Go on.
I was just going to say, I love that you're these technological skills, Tracy.
I almost admit myself a bit competent, but I'm not that great at tech stuff. But I get by with what I need to do.
Yeah, we've all had to learn, haven't we? That's been another thing of all this lockdown. We've learned so much, really. We should be congratulating ourselves, I think.
Yeah, it's been a massive learning curve for such a lot of people. In fact, I was just proofreading an article that's going in one of the aesthetic journals that I wrote, that's going in next month. But that's all about how our learning has changed since the pandemic. And yeah, massive changes, massive differences, and lots of differences in styles in the way people have approached putting different learning out there. So it's quite interesting. Yeah,
it's opened us up to other opportunities. You know, we can do things that we wouldn't have been able to do in person.
Totally, and things that probably without this horrible, awful pandemic, we wouldn't have explored or seen the need for. So yeah, and I don't think you can replace those face-to-face meetings, really, in some senses. But the opportunity it's created is brilliant. I had an email from my NHS boss earlier today, trying to schedule a meeting in with me on my day off. Obviously didn't realise I was day off, so I just sort of emailed her back and said, well, I'm not in the building that day, but we could video call.
Yes.
You know, go back this time last year, somebody saying, well, I'm not in the building that day.
That would be the end of it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it would have been, well, get yourself here, you know, type of thing. So yeah, huge different opportunities. All right, well, I don't think we do have any questions coming up there, Leslie. So do you think we've waffled on long enough?
I think so, yeah, but it's nice that you've joined us as well. So thank you for listening in, and any feedback, anything at all, we're interested, aren't we? It's a new venture that we want to do some good with. Yeah.
We're really interested, like you say, in the different angles that people want, because while we've got a core service that's Leslie and I, we're very much looking to sort of add-on services there as well that we can call in, like I say, the personal training, that kind of thing, if people feel that suits their needs. So yeah. Oh, well, shall we wish? Oh, hang on, we've got a comment from Dave. Just wanted to comment on how well so Dave is on our program, but he's put it in the group, so it's not breaking confidence, but is on our program from a weight management point of view. So he's put, just wanted to comment on how well the service has supported my weight loss. Over 6 weeks, he's lost just under a stone. He's become more energetic and happy. Oh, isn't that lovely?
You're doing so well, Dave. It's fabulous that you're getting those results. It's wonderful.
It is doing so fab, especially in the current situation. It's really, really tough, isn't it? So fantastic.
Thank you for sharing that, Dave. Appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, so well, it's been lovely to see you as well. So
it's always good to chat with you, Leslie. Okay, shall we say good night then? And,
yes. Stay warm and dry and stay safe, everybody.
Absolutely. Take care.
Yeah. Very much, everybody. See you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.